who would have thought 2 years ago, that the entire world will be shut down, and everybody's going to be wearing masks. Look how quickly things changed. How quickly people just basically gave up their freedom, their rights, their dignity to listen to somebody like Dr. Fauci.
So the irony of all of this is that we get to the point where we take away responsibility of ourselves to actually do research or think for ourselves or follow our gut feeling, but rather leave it to somebody else because they know, they're the ones that would know how to do it.
Whether you think the virus is real or not, whether you're liberal or conservative, what your political views are, it doesn't matter. What really fascinates me is just how quick people, the masses, the majority of the population, of the people on this planet, will hand over their voice, their own voice, to authority.
Fear.
How they will hand over their voice and allow somebody like Joe Biden to speak for them. Somebody like Dr. Fauci, a corporation, an entity like the CDC or the WHO, which are, if you have any sort of common sense, you know that these entities are corrupt as fuck. But the majority of the population has literally shut down their entire lives because they have given all of their power to these people in this place of authority.
It's
a sad day.
It leads back to the generation where the assumption that it's being taken care of by someone else, where you've regressed to being childlike, where mommy and daddy tell you what to do and you're 6 or 7 years old and you just say yes.
Well, that's my point.
Yeah.
That is my point. There are 20-year-old, 30-year-olds, and 40-year-olds out there. 50-year-olds that are out there right now. The majority of them on planet Earth that are walking around acting as if they are children. And what about the elder generation, the 60, 70, 80, 90-year-olds? Well, the 100-year-olds, they're still acting like children. They're wearing diapers already, but... But even those people, it's the same exact thing. They never matured. They're still holding on to that whole mentality, oh, I can't do that because I'm going to get in trouble. Like, you're going to get scolded like you're a 5-year-old. Jesus, fuck. Look at our president. Joe Biden. Every time he goes out to do any sort of interview on the, he's all like, oh, I'm sorry. I can't accept any more questions. I'll get in trouble. He's the president of the United States. Are you fucking kidding me? Perfect example of where we are. The president of the United States, supposedly the most powerful man in the world, is the biggest fucking child of us all. But he's leading like that. And the thing is this isn't a political thing. This is just about this very ugly truth that we have been so indoctrinated and conditioned that we don't even question things. We have become a generation, a culture, a worldwide culture of pussies.
I wouldn't say culture of pussies. What I would say is a culture of conformity, where the core identity, which is more accentuated now with social media, your core identity is your core identity like is accentuated, respected, if you will, based on what you conform to. So if everyone is doing it, it must be right. And when you don't train those but why muscles that you've had as a kid, you literally are in that position where anything that anybody says, you just follow.
The curiosity. It's like, don't push that button, and then you push it. Anyways.
And that doesn't negate learning from other people's mistakes. Don't get me wrong. That doesn't negate that. But
right.
It's really, when the fuck have you thought for yourself? When the last time you did that?
Yeah.
You know?
That's a scary thing. How quickly did you give in to this tyranny that's happening? It doesn't matter where you go in the world right now. Every country's been bought out.
My perspective in that is, just like we're talking about, prior to our call now, is I feel anybody that's up there have an agenda, and for the most part, you're not in it to benefit. You're just a factor in whatever direction that it's been moved to. So if that's the case, and nobody really has your interest per se, what the fuck?
You're speaking of politicians?
Yeah, politicians,
yeah.
or
people of any
major financial and social influence up
right.
there. You had mentioned most countries being bought out and all that. And what I'm trying to say is that before you kill yourself dying for your passion of what you think is right or wrong, sit back and ask yourself, what is the real agenda in all of this? Which, most people would not know. I can't say that I know everything. But when you now sit back and you look, do they really have your interest? Or are you just blindly following?
Yeah, well, and I guess that's the thing is, don't just follow blindly. Ask questions. And you really need to start asking some difficult questions. I guess that's the underlying reason why so many people don't ask the questions in the first place, is because it would challenge their belief system. It would challenge their identity.
Sense of identity.
Yeah, and anytime that we are faced with questions that challenge our identity, we hit them with hard no's, right? We don't want to...
Or hit them with things that we assume to be the reference of what we believe as truth or our core identity.
Right.
And we use that as our anchor. This is it.
Right. And then from that point, then if somebody doesn't like that, then we really start digging up bullshit and start with justification and start spinning our wheels and,
And then that's a hard no for me, dog.
So, but basically, it's so sad that that's where we are in humanity. Life is so beautiful, yet the majority of the people, like, you walk into a Walmart, you walk out into the streets, and you can pretty much be guaranteed that the majority of the people that you see are nothing better than brainwashed sheep that are just doing what they're told. They don't know why they're doing it. They're just doing it. And that is sad that we have allowed these people at the top, these elites, to create so many systems. Economics, the entire fucking economic system is basically modern day slavery. The entire education system is a way to indoctrinate our children to feed into the goddamn economic and financial systems.
It's like, do you even when you look at the school system, for instance, something that comes to mind is how many courses are really taught about, first of all, being an entrepreneur, being financially free, or planning, managing your funds, or how many classes are taught about actually thinking for yourself, individual growth, not leadership to lead people, but the system builds people to be good employees. That's what it is.
The system, to build good employees, but the systems are, the way they're designed, they're teaching you that you don't need to think for yourself.
And you shouldn't.
And you shouldn't think for yourself.
Don't question.
We have that taken care of for you.
Just sit back, get your golden handcuffs.
Right.
You know. And this is coming from the biggest by the book person that I've literally lived through. And
yeah, you were very much stuck in that TikTok world.
Hey, first of all, it's not my fault. I was conditioned to be that way. Yeah, and it's a little thing as fucking rolling in the fucking grass was a big deal, or taking my shoes off in freaking a bar.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, I mean the thing
like
is when you become so conditioned, and it kills me because my kids will be out playing, and then their friends will come over, and then just in conversation on a daily basis, I hear it from kids and adults. Oh, I can't do that. That's not allowed. Or oh no, I would get in trouble for that. I can't. We can't say that. And then or the kids saying, "Man, I really wish we could go and do a flip in the pool." But oh no, so and so will get mad at us. You
got in trouble for that. Yeah.
And then we hear that constantly in our daily lives, but if you're completely honest, your thoughts are doing it to yourself. You're doing it to yourself. You say, "Oh man, it's a hot day. You're walking down by the river.
Maybe I should."
But it's such a hot day. But that water would feel so amazing right now. And then that gets followed up with, "Oh, but it's probably you're probably not allowed to swim there. I'd probably get in trouble." And then maybe there's a sign, swimming is okay.
All of a sudden.
And then all of a sudden you have all these other excuses. "Oh, I don't have any clothes. I don't have any extra clothes, or I don't have a towel, or
It has to be perfect.
And then maybe that gets countered with a solution, because I'm that counter. I've always been that counter. For myself and for other people. It's kind of like the little devil on your shoulder.
Yeah.
But it's the devil that gets you to do what you actually really want to do and think for yourself, rather than living in this TikTok life.
And the thing is, with all of this that we're saying, it's that when you live in that state of boundaries and conditioning and thinking, "I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that," all you're doing is you're setting yourself up for and being open for more restrictions to be given to you, and then you just accept it blindly and just keep going forward.
Right, and the thing is you have to understand the people that are setting the rules and the boundaries and the restrictions in the first place. They have their own motives. They're not doing it to protect you. They're not doing it to keep you safe. Yes, that's what they're going to tell you, and you're going to believe it because you're a fucking conditioned idiot.
Yeah.
But they don't have your best interest in mind. They have their pocketbook as their number one interest.
To be honest, we don't even know what their interests could be. Much more sinister. We don't even know what their interests are.
Yeah.
But you just know it's not you, it's not me, it's not the general.
They have their own interests,
exactly.
And that it clearly isn't us.
You ain't in it. You're not in it. Exactly. And so it's a key thing to keep in mind is always say, like, the little curiosity as a kid, but why this?
Who the hell was the moron that came up with the quote? Because this was a big one when I was a kid. Curiosity killed the cat.
That was even before you being a kid.
Yeah,
that's old as dirt. It's like, that's an old one.
But
killed the cat.
Things like, the thing is things like that were literally introduced to prevent people from thinking for themselves,
Yep.
from being curious, from allowing our natural creativeness just kind of run wild. See, the thing is if you're a real artist and you tap into that true essence of you and express your own way of thinking and your own creativity, you can't be controlled because you entered into a state of limitless individualism, where you're connected with the abundance and natural flow of life, and you can't be controlled. So that does not fit into the economic agenda.
TikTok.
That does not fit into TikTok. This TikTok 9 to 5 life.
We don't mean the app, by the way.
No, not TikTok.
TikTok
not that.
means
TikTok means you're stuck in this conditioned life. You're sleepwalking. You're going through the motions. You're working 9 to 5 job, dating a girl that you settled for.
You fuck once in 2 weeks.
or months, or even years.
Or even not at all.
Or not at all.
And she goes and meets a guy like me at a bar.
Yep. But that's TikTok. TikTok is basically
you're going
through motions, but you don't even know why you're going through them. You're not thinking for yourself. You're not acting on your own things. And the worst part is, you've been so fucking brainwashed to believe that you actually think you are thinking for yourself. You truly believe that you are an individual and you are thinking for yourself. And my guess is probably half the people that started watching this are going to shut off from it because they don't like the way we're talking, because it challenges their ego.
You'll be all right. Hey guys,
so they've already clicked off.
By the time you come back and keep listening, you're gonna be all right.
But at least, I know we planted a couple seeds in there, so you'll be back. It's okay.
Hey, welcome back. And that whole when you're in TikTok, you are going through a checklist of life, going through a checklist in your reality. Your life is a freaking checklist. Okay, vacation at this time, and I'll check in on what you need to do. Or I need to, this weekend I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. No room for spontaneity. No room for anything really exciting. And I don't mean exciting, I'm taking my kids to a freaking bar mitzvah. I'm talking about exciting. You do some dumb shit with your very good friends. Jump in the pool with your freaking clothes on.
Yeah, jumping off, just pulling over and seeing a random bridge and jumping off the bridge into the water.
Something different,
whatever, just whatever it is, just living. I mean, the thing is I guess that's really the essence of it, and all you got to do is look around to see that it's true. You go down to the pool, nobody's happy there.
Miserable as fuck.
You go to the bar. Nobody's really happy. I mean, you go.
I'm happy about
that's the thing is, it's kind of like, you can be a happy person, and then you can be super optimistic, and you can maybe be a thinker, and you think for yourself. And if you live in New York City, and you get it on the subway. Every day.
In New York.
If you get in the subway every day, day after day, well, what happens when you walk into that subway? Everybody, if you have a smile, it goes straight face. Yeah. Straight, serious, don't talk to me, fuck off face.
Oh, you think New York is about? Try London.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, no matter how positive or how happy you are,
it's taken away from you.
It's gonna... You do that day after day, and it's going to wear on you. And you're always going to adapt to your environment. And unfortunately, I guess that's where the really saddest thing for me to just observe and watch through this whole pandemic is just seeing how many people are really just gone, so far just gone.
Living.
They're not living. They are existing.
Existing, yeah.
Yes.
Existing.
So many people just exist.
there was this experiment that was, and you'll like this actually, this experiment that they had. So they had monkeys in a cage, about 10 monkeys or something, right? And then they put them in a situation where anytime they try to grab the latch to escape, they get zapped. Like shock, little shock, but you know, they now, all the monkeys they identified trying to leave will get you zapped. So what they did was they'll take out one monkey and bring in a new one and just throw in there who had never experienced anything. And when that new one sees the latch and tries to escape, the other ones will pull him back, right? Not to go there. Yep. He's never been zapped, but they'll pull him back. So in the experiment, they got rid of all the 9 original monkeys, and then everyone else, all the new monkeys that were in, 10 now, were all new, who had never been zapped, but they had been all conditioned not to touch it. So when they introduced an 11th monkey, a new one, when that monkey tried to go there, they all pulled it back.
Yep.
That is exactly what the reality is and how we are. Basically, an explanation, a microcosm, if you will, of what's really happening. You don't know why you're doing it.
You're just doing it. And I mean, I was a big why kid. Well, you can't do this. Why can't I? I don't see any reason why I can't. Well, because blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I still don't really see any reason why I can't. Well, because of this. Nope, I still don't see a reason why I can't.
I was not a why kid.
Well, actually, no. I mean, I was, when I say I was a white kid, you can't say that. I was always, when I was younger, I was a mama's boy. Believe it or not. Yeah. I mean, I was a little bitch, like, mommy, like always attached to her hip, and you know,
mommy's boys, yeah, me too.
Yeah. But then when I turned like 12 years old, my dad left for Korea. He was in the military, and and just him being gone, I don't know. I just went for wild, and like I just started thinking for myself.
Yeah.
You know, I got mad because he left, and I felt like, I don't know, he disowned me or whatever, and it just made me mad. But it made me mad at everything, and by getting mad at everything, it allowed me to start questioning everything.
Yeah.
It allowed me to start questioning authority, which was one of the biggest benefits that I ever had. I started questioning the government, the news channels, questioned my principal, questioned my parents, I questioned my sister, I questioned all my teachers. I mean, yes, I got in a lot of trouble, but I questioned it and I challenged it, and I said, you know, tell me why and justify, just give me just be a straight shooter. So, and I started really thinking for myself and trying to come up with different answers. I take and I seek out advice. I look at the experiences that I have had, and then I take the advice from this person, and then I come, think about it, reflect on it, come up with my own assumption, conclusion. We need more of that. I don't understand. I mean,
it's
if somebody tells you to jump, don't fucking jump. Ask why.
It's also difficult, though. I'll tell you why it's also difficult. It's for me, I was more of I look to a particular result and I say, how did that person get that? And I literally, by the book, follow steps to get to that particular thing. And I wouldn't ask questions.
You did that even with my teachings, didn't you? Initially you did, and
and then of course, and then you now go with that. That's still TikTok, by the way, but you now go with that, and then you don't question, you don't ask why, you just go. Then after a while, you now start saying, okay, what's the right move for me? It's no longer you being connected. You start being more selfish, and you now start breaking or making rules for yourself, but based on rules that you can follow.
Yeah.
You don't get to the point of questioning so much. The only questions you're asking, what's in it for me kind of thing, not the why in general. Mm-hmm. And that's where I've evolved to now, where I'm now at a point where I accept everyone as they are, accept myself as I am. However, when something would come up, I wonder why they're saying that. And then and that's where the question starts. That's where you start digging in.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, yeah. There's definitely. I mean, you have to. Like I said, I mean, it really is sad to see everybody just kind of bending over. I mean, it's kind of like, it's kind of like seeing, this big muscled guy bending over by a girl, a really small girl getting fucked in the ass. Like, here's this powerful guy.
That is a morbid fucking picture.
Here's a really powerful, strong, physically guy getting railed
6 foot
by this 5 foot 100-pound
the guy's 6'7", she's 4'2".
Yeah, the girl's
And she's banging with a dildo. He's fucking my God.
And there's nothing he can do about it. He's completely helpless in that situation, and that's basically what TikTok is. That's what TikTok is. Because even though you may not literally be getting fucked in the ass right now, maybe, I don't know, maybe you are, but
there's no judgment here.
But there's no judgment at all. But maybe, maybe you're not getting fucked in the ass right now. But if you are going to the grocery store and you're wearing a mask, if you're following all these stay-at-home orders and doing exactly what the government says and doing exactly what the corrupt CDC and WHO guidelines say, it won't be long before you will be getting fucked in the ass. And when you do,
lubricants.
Yes, and when you do, it's gonna hurt, and because there's not gonna be lubricant. The thing, these people at the top that are rolling out these agendas and the things, their goals, they don't give a fuck about you. So when they start railing you from behind, and there's not gonna be anything you can do about it, it's going to hurt you a lot more than it's going to hurt me, because, I already see it coming, and it's not going to be coming on my back. It's going to be coming on yours.
I love the way you take it. The way you switch it over, coming on my back.
No, yeah, I mean, so I encourage you to wake the fuck up. Start thinking for yourself. Start, get that curiosity back. Get your own thoughts back. Get your voice. I mean, you have a voice. Every fucking human being has their own voice. And if you are not using that voice, if you are suppressing that voice for whatever reason, out of fear, out of doubt, out of worry, out of just complete bullshit conditioning from the government or whatever else. If you're suppressing that, I encourage you to really step out and start doing something to really dig deep and start finding your voice, because
it's there. Your voice is there.
Until you find your voice, there will be a void. And you will always be ego-driven, and you will always be constantly chasing the next best thing, the next biggest thing.
The next thing to fill that void, the next, follow this cause or follow that, or the next thing that you get dangled in your face, this next social cause to.
It's that next carrot.
Next carrot, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really, to be honest, guys, it's really an effort to start doing it, but you've heard us now. It's a muscle you have to start working on. Like the first time you walk into a gym, or the first time you do a push-up or a crunch, whatever you do, start working on that muscle to start asking, why this, why that? Know that you fucking have a voice inside you that's waiting to be heard,
and know that that's where your real strength and power lies.
Yep. Motherfucker!
And also know that the government will be coming on your back pretty soon if you don't.
Why do you have to make it so freaking? Oh no! That's a good way to end.